Hey everybody, it's Jason from the Texas Gun Vault, and today I'm coming to you with another field strip video. And today we're going to be field stripping the new Smith Wesson FPC, or the folding pistol carbine. And I wanted to make a field strip on this because this thing comes apart very different than many other firearms. So let's go ahead and start, of course, by safety checking the firearm. We will ensure that there is no ammunition in the gun. Let's drop the magazine. No ammunition in the magazine as well. We will also remove the two magazines here in the back stock, just like that. And once again, let's certify there is no ammunition in the gun. Then we'll pull the charging handle back and close the bolt. We have to disassemble this firearm from the rear. So we're going to start here on the stock, and this is the button that releases those magazines, and we are going to pull up on this little button here. So we're going to pull up on it. It can be kind of tough, and when you do, you can pull the stock off of the back. So that can be a little bit tough, and there we go. So then the stock comes right off like that. There is a spring in it as well, so we can set that aside, and we'll set these magazines over here. Now, in the back of the buffer tube, we have a little plunger. We're going to push this plunger in, and then we can take out this little cross bolt here. So push this in just a little bit, and this piece will come straight out. You might have to move it around a little bit to line everything up, and there we go. And then slowly release the pressure off that plunger. We have the plunger itself. Then we have the recoil spring. Set that aside. Now, in order for us to get the bolt out, you might need a little screwdriver. And we're going to pull this bolt back, and you will see that there is a little stop right here, or a little pin. And you have to pull that back to the disassembly notch, and you might need, as I said, a little screwdriver here to pull up on this. When everything is lined up, it should come right out, just like that. And then the whole bolt assembly will come right out the back, and you will also notice that it is in two pieces. And so there's the bolt, and here's the carrier, and yeah, you can see this thing is really, really dirty, and that's why I'm taking it apart to clean it. And then if you need to get into the receiver section, all you have to do is fold it up. You can clean through the barrel, you can clean into the receiver, and you can get into all those spaces. And so that is a field stripped Smith & Wesson FPC. So let me go ahead and clean this thing up, and then we're going to put it back together. All right, so we got this Smith & Wesson M&P FPC all cleaned up and ready to go back together. And like most firearms, reassembly is the opposite of disassembly. So we're going to start with the bolt, and it's that two-piece bolt. So that simply slides on the channel there. And this is a little bit difficult to get back in the gun. Just got to make sure it doesn't move too much. Now, as we're about to put it back into the rear of the buffer tube, we want to make sure we put a little bit of oil on these elevated areas around the carrier. So you don't want to put too much, just a drop here, just a couple, so that it moves freely in the buffer tube. All right, so there we go. Not a lot at all. And so we're going to insert this right here in the rear. Everything lined up pretty good. Then we're going to push it in just far enough where the little piece, or the stop that holds in the bolt, can go into the channel, and that should just drop right in. And you can push that bolt forward. Now, I have seen this online with some other people talking about how to do this. If you try to push this bolt all the way into the receiver, it sometimes goes, and you can do it with enough pressure, and I was able to do that. Some people take the front of the gun and they will pound it onto the table like that, and it goes past whatever that stoppage point is. But I was able to push it into the receiver, and you can see it goes all the way in and becomes flush with the barrel. Then you want to take the recoil spring and put it in the rear there. Then we'll take the plunger, put that there, and you're going to compress this spring. And this can be a little bit tricky. Let me move a couple of these items here. And so when I compress this spring, you have to make sure this opening in this plunger aligns with the opening on the side of the buffer tube, so this piece can go straight through it. So here we go. It can be a little bit tricky. You don't want to let go of that plunger. Make sure your thumb is on it good, just like that. And if you can get it lined up, it should be pretty easy. I'm having a little bit of a difficult time here, so let me rotate it just a little bit, and there we go. And it should go all the way through, and that locks into place. And just make sure you can push that plunger in just a little bit. Then we'll take this spring, which goes in the stock, drop that in the back there. And when you put this stock on, it has a little ledge which will allow you to simply slide it on. If you want to pull up on this, you can, or you can simply hit it from the back. I'm going to try to lift up on this, and it should hopefully slide on, or starts to slide on. There we go. And then I guess I'll have to tap it, and there it is. Yeah, that can be a little bit tricky because that spring is pretty strong. And that is on there good. We'll put in our 2 magazines here in the rear. And of course, we can insert the magazine in the pistol grip, and then we can function check it. Yep, it looks like this is back together right like it should be. So there it is, a field strip and reassembly of the Smith & Wesson M&P FPC. Not the easiest gun to field strip, but it is doable, and you don't need any tools really except for maybe a small screwdriver. But that's it. All right, so I hope this video helps somebody in the future. So, as always, thanks for watching.